What does appropriate mean in FAPE? This content is for general educational purposes and does not constitute specific legal or medical advice. Have you ever wondered what the word appropriate in free appropriate public education or FAPE really means? Understanding this term is crucial for all parents navigating special education. I'm Michelle Kotler. For more than 30 years, I've been fighting for children like yours to obtain a free, appropriate public education. If you're searching for information you can trust to help your child succeed, this channel is for you. In 2017, the Supreme Court issued an important ruling in Andrew F. versus Douglas County School District. This case clarified what FAPE must look like for students with disabilities. So, what does this surprisingly unanimous Supreme Court ruling mean for your child's education? Under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, which applies to all public schools in the United States, schools must provide a free, appropriate public education. However, the word appropriate is vague and subject to interpretation. What is appropriate to one person is awful or terrific to another. How do we know if the school is providing FAPE? The Andrew F. case established a legal standard that all public school systems must follow. The court ruled that schools must offer more than minimal educational benefit. They need to provide a program that is, quote, reasonably calculated to enable a child to make progress appropriate in light of the child's circumstances, unquote. Let's break this down. First, the school must understand the child's circumstances, which is another way of thinking about the present levels of performance section of the IEP. Current assessment data, whether formal or informal, should determine the contents of the present levels of performance specific to your child. This information tells the team what the child's circumstances are. In other words, if a child's circumstances are that he has a high IQ with a hearing impairment, the expectations for that child's performance will be very different than those for a child with a significant cognitive delay. Once you understand your child's circumstances through current assessment data, the team needs to be able to project what kind of meaningful progress your child should be expected to make in 1 year. The IEP has to be reasonably calculated to allow your child to make that level of meaningful progress. Students cannot be permitted to exist and float along without a sufficient but appropriate level of learning and challenge that addresses their needs. Imagine your child struggles in math. The school must keep in mind your child's current knowledge and skills when writing math goals on the IEP. The annual goals cannot be too difficult or too easy in light of your child's unique present levels of performance. They have to be reasonably calculated to allow your child to make meaningful progress. This task can be tricky. No one has a crystal ball to see into the future. Factors such as your child's cognitive, executive functioning, language, and behavior all play a part in how quickly he or she acquires knowledge. These are the factors the team should consider in order to predict with reasonable certainty that the goals are realistic for 1 year. Objectives are an important part of writing annual goals. Objectives are short-term benchmarks that allow you to monitor progress toward achieving the annual goal. For example, let's say the annual goal is that your child will learn complex multiplication to the hundreds place. However, your child cannot multiply at all yet. Your child has strong cognitive skills and the capacity to learn it. There can be 4 objectives leading to the annual goal. 1. The child will independently master skip counting from 2 to 9 with 90% accuracy on 3 out of 4 trials. 2. The child will independently master multiplying single-digit numbers by single-digit numbers with 90% accuracy on 3 out of 4 trials. 3. The child will independently master multiplying double-digit numbers by double-digit numbers with 90% accuracy on 3 out of 4 trials. And 4. The child will independently master multiplying triple-digit numbers by triple-digit numbers with 90% accuracy on 3 out of 4 trials. These quarterly objectives bring your child along to achieving the annual goal by the end of the 4th quarter. If your child succeeds, that would be meaningful progress under Andrew F. If not, the school may not be meeting FAPE standards. You can advocate for better resources or support. Keep track of progress toward the objectives throughout the year. We're legally entitled to IEP progress reports each quarter for this reason. Don't wait until the end of the year to realize your child hasn't mastered the IEP goals. By then, another school year has been wasted. Goals and objectives can be adjusted to better reflect what meaningful progress looks like for your child. Remember, it's your right as a parent to ask questions. Ensure that the IEP is tailored to your child's unique abilities. In summary, the Andrew F. case reinforced that FAPE must offer meaningful educational benefits appropriate to your child's situation. Schools must create tailored plans that promote real progress. If you believe your child isn't getting an appropriate education, it's time to take action. Understanding these concepts can empower you as a parent. Stay informed and don't hesitate to fight for your child's educational rights. Keep pushing for your child because every child deserves a quality education. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to help other parents who are trying to understand special education law. Leave a comment to tell me where you're watching from and let me know what content you'd like to see in the future. If you'd like to support my work, please consider buying me a coffee. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.